record. Yes. So my idea was to give you an outline of the theory. I'm not going to go deep into that because it is linguistics. Yes. And it's not really my full scope, but this is language and culture. And since we're dealing with language and you are teaching a foreign language, and learning a language is a cognitive process, so I thought it was important and interesting to see how this can be applied to literature. Yes. But it is it's a theory that stems from linguistics. And honestly, I watched the videos because for me it was like a lecture, so interesting. It's like being in the States and, I'm being there and studying linguistics and watching this guy, who is not a guy, this professor, this linguist, in fact, delivering a talk. Yes. And it's so contemporary, I thought it was interesting. But basically, what we've got, sorry, I have to open it. Give me a second. What we've got in his book. Okay, Gabriela is telling us that she's coming soon. What he does in his book, Metaphors We Live By. Give me a second. I'm not here. Yes. Okay. What do we have here? Okay. Is this? Can you see the? Can you see the PDF? This PDF is in the classroom. Yes. Okay. What he says is that usually we think that metaphor is in the realm of poetry and literature, and what they say is not just for poets. It's something we do on a daily basis, that we think in metaphors, and metaphors are the linguistic result of the way we perceive the world. Yes, so that is what they call embodied cognition, because we feel with our bodies. Our mind is not, our mind is connected to our bodies, and language and thoughts and the mind are all interconnected. So what they have studied is that in different cultures, obviously metaphors are culture based, they're grounded on culture, and so they may be different for each culture. But in general, we tend to conceptualize abstract concepts in terms of metaphor, in terms of another thing. So, for example, love is a jewel, this is metaphorical. Yes, we describe love in terms of something else, of a jewel. That's a metaphor. Yes, but what they say is that we find metaphors in everyday life. It's the result of our embodied cognition and the way we perceive the world. In a nutshell, yes. I think that Lakoff can explain this much better than me, right? And this is Lakoff and Turner. Then you have Lakoff and Johnson in 2003. Yes, okay. Time as a thief, life is a journey. I think this is quite common, to see that life is a journey. Why? Because it has a beginning, we move through life as if it was a path, and it has a destination. Okay, more or less like Chaucer's Road to Canterbury. Yes, which is a spiritual journey. Yes, okay. And as a journey, it has some obstacles that you need to overcome. What he explains in the video that is super interesting is that the road ahead is not always easy, that there may be obstacles, that you may find yourself at a crossroads and you need to make decisions, that you reach a dead end. Yes, he explains that in terms of relationships, that sometimes when you feel that your relationship has reached a dead end, is that there is no way out. You cannot go on with this relationship. Okay, but basically that they appear in everyday language, in ordinary language. Yes, and it's a way in which we embody and conceptualize abstract terms, right? And well, let's see. Well, this is example he gives in the video. Yes, argument is war. Yes, and this is like systematic. Why? Argument is war, because an argument works more or less in terms of a fight, a war, in which you have opposing sides. Yes, okay, in which you try to beat, your opponent. Yes, the one who thinks differently. You use a strategy, yes, to wipe out or to shoot down all the others' arguments, okay, you attack the other. All right, but I'm not going to go, I mean, there are lots of different metaphors. This is a book, yeah, and if you are interested in the book, I left it there in the classroom. It doesn't mean that you have to read it all. I just left it. Yes, if you're interested and you want to pursue some other thing, you can work on that. Another thing is time. Yes, in our culture, in the Western world, time is money. Yeah, so you spend time with friends or you waste time trying to see if all your students have sent you the homework. Yes, okay. Or I don't know, in modern life, you say that some gadgets like the washing machine, saves hours, right? Well, so the question is, well, as I have said, that concepts are culture bound, yes, because in our culture, in Western culture, time is, like money, is a limited resource. It is valuable, right? Okay, this is all in the PowerPoint that is in the classroom, right? And this is a summary of the book Metaphors We Live By. Okay, let me see. Well, obviously, there are structural metaphors. One concept is metaphorical structure in terms of another. Time is money. Okay, we are defining one thing, time, in terms of another, money, right? Well, this is more connected to communication. Yes, how we can metaphorically structure communication, or refer to communication as a conduit, something you give or receive, right? The speaker puts ideas into words, which are containers, and send them, yes, okay, to the hearer, right? Okay, that's why you try to get the idea across to your students. You put your ideas in words and you send them, yes, along a conduit, and you listen to me, yes, you listen to my words, for example. I'm not going to delve much into the conduit metaphor. I think this is super interesting. We have been working with spatial order and with Beowulf, and this is connected to spatial orientation. It's how we perceive the world around us and ourselves, yes? And we are humans, we are standing upright, yes? And the way we perceive our world, obviously, what is in the front? What is ahead of us? The future, yes? So the future is ahead, and our past is back. Yes, these are and I thought that these were very interesting because I feel, I can perceive these. Okay, the same with ups and downs. Yes, if you're up, you are happy. Yes, you put thumbs, you give somebody a thumbs up, go ahead. Yes, okay, and all that is low is down. Yes, okay. So you're feeling down, you feel low, right? Well, I have written some examples there that are from the book. I have not invented them, yes? Okay. The ones up, the ones that are up, yes? He's at the peak of health. Lazarus rose from the dead, yes? Okay. He's thinking, right? His health is declining, okay. Well, that's it. Well, and this is spatialization. Metaphors are rooted in physical and cultural experience, right? They are not random, okay? And usually when you think of up, it's because we are standing upright. Yes, if you're lying, that would be a different thing, right? But usually we think of this in terms of up when you are erect, yes, standing, okay? Well, I'm not going to go into this, yes, because it's not directly concerned with Macbeth, yes, okay, but I think that you have then ontological metaphors, yes. Ontological has to do with being, right, in the way something is or the way we view it. And sometimes, for example, say the mind is a machine. We cannot see the mind, but we can picture it in terms of a machine and how it needs to work, you know, in order to be healthy. You know, it says I'm a little rusty today. It's, you know, your mind is not working properly. Yes, it's like a machine. The mind, if it is a machine, it can break down. Yeah, so he broke under cross-examination. The experience shattered him. I'm going to pieces. Okay. Well, and what I'm concerned with, what we are concerned with, is the container metaphors. Yes, we are containers. Our bodies are containers. There are boundaries. Yes, where we, you know, are separated from the other, from the world outside us. Okay, and so this also is a mixture of we're containers and we are also in a space. So we are a mixture of experiences. On the one hand, containers, and on the other hand, situated in a given place, right? Okay, so we have how we feel in terms of our boundaries, personal space, what is in. For example, if I say I am in love, you know, it's within me, yes? And if I'm out of love, yes, okay, I'm not in love anymore, yes? So these are in terms of in and out, yes? In pain, you know, you feel it, it's inside you, okay? What else? I was trying to give you examples of container metaphors. It has to do with in and out. Well, let's see. Well, we are going to see Macbeth in terms of container metaphors. Yes, okay. For example, do you remember Lady Macbeth? Yes, at the beginning of the play, when she well, on the one hand, refers to her husband as being too full of the milk of human kindness. I mean, that he doesn't have what he needs to have inside, yes, or this wickedness in order to kill the king. And then in her soliloquy, she calls the ministers of darkness to, you know, empty her of and sex her, you know, and fill her up to the crown, to fill her up, you know, like a container, yes, of direct cruelty. Okay, that is an example of container metaphor. Yes, okay. For example, there are many others. Yes, okay. Sorry, I'm fighting with my son. When he has lessons, should I step open the door and, you know, hell is unleashed? But now, okay, well, sorry. It's a domestic scene and I'm a container within the container of my house, you know? So I'm fully trapped here, yes? And within Zoom. So I am multiple layers to my being, okay. Well, so that is container metaphor. There's another container that is important is Duncan. Yes, the container has been broken open and he's losing blood. You know, he has been, violated, you know, the temple, the anointed temple. Yes, okay. That is another example. Anyway, the one who provides lots of examples about this is Freeman, yes, in Catching the Nearest Way. Yes, this one, okay. Shakespeare, Macbeth and Cognitive Metaphor. It's super interesting because he gives lots of examples. Okay.
Is that book on the Aula Virtual?
Yes, I didn't upload. Remember if I love? No, I didn't upload the whole book. I uploaded just the part that you have to read, because it is the language of drama by Culpeper, and within that one you've got the one on Macbeth. There are other authors and other texts, not necessarily just that one. Well, that is another example. Other examples as well as container metaphors is the image of feasting. You know, when you feast, you eat, all things you do with your body, and you know, you drink, you eat, and this is something that goes into your body. Yes, okay. what happens during the feast? Yes, in the first feast, Macbeth is plotting to kill the king. In the second feast, we see Macbeth, who has already killed the king, and it's his crowning, let's say, yes, his first feast. And we've got Banquo's ghost, because he has had his friend killed. So we have all these disruptions. And he says, I have full supped, you know, he's full of murder. Yes, he uses this metaphor, right? This is later on, you know, in Act 5. Yes, okay. Well, and then also the image of, or the idea of sleep being a nourisher. Nourishing has to do with eating. So we have Lady Macbeth and her function as a woman, as a mother, you know, giving a suck and nourishing her baby. Well, but then she says that she would have smashed the baby, you know, while feeding it if she had promised him to do so, right? You know, in the persuasion scene. Okay, am I going too fast? And no questions?
No, Lu.
No questions so far? Okay, well, so let's continue. Sorry, I think I feel I'm taking on a journey in a fast speed train. Yes, but well, I'm here now. If you, when you're preparing the subject, you have doubts and things before the final, you can always contact me, okay? No worries about that. Well, I'm thinking if you can find any, there is a PowerPoint with more examples, yes, of container metaphors, yes. Then, well, obviously when Banquo is murdered, you know, has all the gashes on his head and the blood is out. That is also an example of the violation of the container, you know, of Banquo's body, yes. Okay, all the blood that is out. Give me a sec. Sorry, this time is terrible. Okay, I'm not going to go into synecdoche because you have been working with these, but then we have the journey metaphors. Yes, okay, that love is a journey or life is a journey. Yes, okay, and this is also present in Macbeth, because for Macbeth, yes, we have the path. Yes, the path, life as a content, the path metaphor. Yes, okay. There is a path open for Macbeth, and he's at the crossroads, you know, and he has to decide. Yes, he could wait, or he just could catch the nearest way. Yes, and what does he do?
Kill Duncan.
He kills Duncan and he catches the nearest way, because instead of waiting, you know, to see if he will become king in the future, he just kills Duncan. Yes, he takes another road. Yes, and he, you know, skips perhaps, well, we have already talked about chain of being, right? Okay. All right. Well, this idea of having a full life, living life to the fullest, yes, also with Duncan, you know, who rests, yes, and has no trouble, okay, and that is all. This is from the book, okay. Let me look for the other one. Can you see here cognitive metaphor? This is the other one you have. Yes, this is the book by Freeman, the one I was telling you about. Yes, and well, this is an introduction about cognitive linguistics. Yes, okay. Again, we construct experience in terms of our bodies and our sensory motor capacities, and this cognition becomes embodied. Yes, this is super new. Yes, and research is being done on this. So you will find plenty. Well, now you can have lectures and find lectures and everything. Yes, about that. Okay. So how is the world structured in terms of image schemas? Yes, as we said before, connected to our body experience, okay, or connected to our orientation, right? Okay. Okay, well, what Freeman does is to foreground two image schemas. One is the path schema, right? Okay, life is a journey. Yes, okay, you have a source, a destination, a goal. Yes.
Sorry, we are watching a PowerPoint about poetry figures of a speech.
Oh. Here we are. Thank you for telling me.
There it is.
Yes, okay. So I will go again. Yes, cognitive linguistics. Yes, okay. The cognition becomes embodied and is called embodiment. Is this clear? Embodied cognition. Yes, okay. We perceive with our bodies. Our bodies are not, detached from our minds. We are all connected, and this is reflected in language. Yes, okay. Here you have lots of authors, yes, okay, and this is connected to our body experience and our orientation. This is what we have been discussed, verticality, containment, path, yes, okay. I haven't included all of them because we will be working only with two, yes, two image schemas that are foregrounded, which is the path schema, yes, the first one. Life is a journey, yes, okay, and for Macbeth, yes, there's a path ahead and he may decide to do something different. Yes, there is a destination or a goal, and we have a trajectory that can be, like I said, the crossroads, okay? Well, obviously, paths have boundaries. You may, leave the path, the trodden path, and take another one. Yes, okay. Sorry. And then there's the containment schema. Well, obviously, we have been talking about the containment as having boundaries, you've got an interior, a boundary, and an exterior. Yes, okay, that is what we need for a container. We understand our own bodies and containers. As we said, the milk for the mother, nurturing, nourishing, things we do with our bodies, we drink, we sleep, right? We eat, okay? Breathing in, breathing out, okay? And both, in this case, in the case of the play, both path and containment are together, right? Okay? Well, obviously, you have to finish reading the play, yes. We have all these people here, yes, and we have the path, right? The path schema, yes. And tomorrow is the succession, yes. Well, then you have to read it tomorrow, and tomorrow. Oh my God, the tomorrow soliloquy, yes, at the end of the play. Tomorrow is what is to come, yes, is what Macbeth expects, is the future, right? Okay, is what lies ahead. Now, what happens to Macbeth once he has ascended the throne? He has no heir. Yeah, and who will be the heir? Banquo's children. Yes?
Banquo's children.
Exactly. Yes, so he kills Banquo because of that. He has him killed. Yes, but there is no tomorrow still for Macbeth, right? Because there is no succession. Okay. Well. These are all the examples that you will find in the paper. Yes. Okay. Scotland is also being in terms of a container because it's a country that is being, violated by the Macbeths. yes, and requires cleansing, yes, with water. It's like, you know, healing. Okay, you will see that Malcolm is more connected with this idea that it needs to heal, right? And with water, it should be cleansed and purged of evil, right? Okay, well, then we have Duncan, obviously, Duncan's room, because he is within the castle, within the room, yes, which is Inverness, right? All the Scotland also full of fog. You remember, with the witches and darkness and the filthy air. Okay. Well, and obviously Macbeth, who is stepped in a river of blood, you know, and he is there, and he decides to wade through, you know, he as the container wading through this river of blood to get to the other side, you know, in a path schema. He goes to the very end. Yes. Okay. And how does the story end? Okay, we finish when he kills Banquo, and again, well, we can talk about container metaphor. Yes, because his brain is out, he has gashes, you know, he lies in a ditch, okay, discarded. Well, we have this feast, you know, in which, again, instead of eating and drinking, he is talking to murderers, and then the disruption of this banquet because he sees the ghost. Yes. And like you pointed out in the wiki, Lady Macbeth cannot, you know, persuade him or coerce him into getting a grip. He won't be, you know, won't calm down. Yes. Okay. So we finish this feast finishes in disorder, because first, this is also, you know, the question of appearance and reality, order and disorder. Yes, there is a lot of disorder. It seems to be in order, but then there's leave, go away. It doesn't matter in which way you came and sat, you know, according to rank, according to order. They live in complete disorder. Yes. Okay. Well, tell me, talk to me.
I think that Macbeth went to see witches in order to make or to establish an order, and what you said. I think that he tries to guide himself through the things that she said, they say.
That's right. Yes, so he puts his faith into the witches and their predictions, right? Okay, good. So he decides to do that after the feast. Okay. Anything else you want to share?
I have to keep on reading.
Okay.
Macduff's family is killed.
Yes. Okay. Because we knew that Macduff was the one who discovered, yes, the body, and he doesn't trust Macbeth. Yeah, you know, he's also a noble from the nobility, and what is Macduff? He didn't attend the coronation. Where did
he went to England?
Ah, okay, right. And he left his family. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
He went to meet Malcolm.
Yes, right. Because he wants to oppose Macbeth, and he wants to find, you know, a suitable candidate and to have a rebellion or some sort of, you know.
Yeah, because Malcolm thinks he's not ready, he's not suitable for the throne.
Okay, he wants to know if he's suitable. Yes, okay. But Malcolm is in exile, you know. He is in England, and well, he needs support. Yes, military support, right? Okay, good.
I think that in this situation we can see we can make a comparison between the relationship between Macbeth and his wife, and Macduff and his wife, because in the first case, Miss Macbeth knows everything about what is going to happen, and in fact, she persuades him.
Yes.
But in the case of Macduff, she didn't know anything about what is going to happen. In fact, she didn't know that why he went.
Yeah.
So, well, in that, for that reason, she ends. They kill her.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, and this is in a way, it's done on purpose to make her look innocent and helpless, you know, because the state should be protecting her. I mean, she's alone, yes, this time with her children, and they are attacked and they are murdered. Everybody, the whole household, yes, even the servants. This, in a way, condemns, no, helps us go against Macbeth, because he doesn't do it himself, but he doesn't care if children die. Yes, and in fact, at this point, how do you think his mind is working? What happens to him?
He's mad, I think.
Yeah.
He doesn't care anything. He wants to be in the throne.
Yeah.
So
he's ambitious.
Yes, but I think that with all the guilt and the insecurity, he says, full of scorpions is my mind. I mean, I think he cannot sleep. So he, you know, I feel that he's sort of losing it. I mean, he's not mad, but he's under a lot of strain, you know, and maybe he snaps, maybe he doesn't. Okay, it could be, yes, his mind is fragile, yes, because of all the scorpions. There you have another ontological metaphor. Okay, well, the question of women, yes, that's why we do not in a way sympathize with Lady Macbeth, because Lady Macbeth wants to deprive herself of all that is good and fill herself up with the direst, you know, cruelty. I think she says, yes, she says topmost, yes, up to here, to the crown, yes. And Lady Macduff is so innocent, yes. Okay. Well, what else? Shall we move a little bit with the text? I have left here. Yes, yes.
I have a doubt, but well, maybe you are going to explain it later. When he talks about the way in which Macbeth and Macduff had born.
Okay. Yeah, because this is, you know, when we talk about double speak and equivocation and ambiguity, yes, we know that the witches are very ambiguous in their language, yes, and that is what leads Macbeth to take, I mean, we can blame the witches or we can blame Macbeth. Then that is something you can think about, because he takes decisions. It's not that he's imposed decisions, right? This has to do with one of the predictions. If you want, we move forward, yes, and we see. Macbeth is here, you know, the image of blood is there all the time. It symbolizes guilt, but also murder, yes, okay. And look at this, stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Do you see the reversals in nature that he acknowledges that are possible? Remember them, because then we will have a forest moving, okay? Yes, okay. Well, and here he has moved forward, you know? How say you, yes, that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding? You know, he moves. I mean, he has finished with Banquo and he moves on very quickly, you know? He hasn't even slept, and then he has a servant there who spies on him, and I will to the weird sisters. Well, we are already anticipating what may happen here, right? Okay. And here, I am in blood. Stepped in so far, should I wait no more? Returning were as tedious as going over. Yeah, you know, this question of moving through, you know, this bloody path. Yes, and he has embarked already. Yes, he has to go back. It would be as tiring as going over. Yes, okay. So, well, we are yet but young indeed. Okay, this is just the beginning. Okay, and we have this scene reminds us of the witches. In some parts, they just skip it. I'm going to skip it for, you know, because we don't have time. Yes, okay. And where are we? Okay, Lennox and the Lord. Okay, I'm going to skip that and we'll move on to Act 4. Yes, okay. We have again the witches. Yes, okay. I love them, sorry. Double, toil and trouble. We know there's trouble, okay? We know there's trouble, toil and trouble. Yes, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn and control bubble. Yeah, you know, we keep on chanting and they start putting nasty things into this cauldron. Yes, and they get, you know, full of terrible things, you know, and they are waiting there. Yes, okay. The charm is firm, you know, it's a charm, yes, and good. And so we have the Hecate is the king, the queen of the witches. Yes, okay. I love this. You may find this in different productions and in other films because it's a very well-known quotation. By the prickling of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. Yes, okay. And what is something wicked that is coming?
Macbeth.
It's Macbeth, right? Yes, and we know that he's wicked. Yes, okay. Well, and so he visits the witches. Yes.
Louis is going to
Se va a
finish
cortar.
the.
Oh, okay. We come back again. Do you have 40 minutes more?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not coming, Lou. I can't.
Okay. Don't worry. I'm going to leave the recording.